Hey everyone, thanks for tuning in. Steven here with TV Euphoric, and this is day 20 of the 80 Days to Your Dream Body course. Today's protein source is going to be pork belly, and today is an active recovery day. So, right now, I'm going to be taking you through a full lower body mobilization routine. Now, let's get started. And now that we have discussed the importance of developing a daily mobilization routine, it is time to start with the mobilization routine. We're going to be starting with the ground up. And the first one is going to be at the ankle. For the ankle, we are going to be doing the half kneeling dorsiflexion with a dowel rod. All you need is a dowel rod. What we are going to do for this one right over here is we want to get into a half kneeling position, so as though you are in the bottom position of a lunge. And what you want to do at the base of the fifth metatarsal, you want to place the dowel rod right over there. And then what you would want to do is you would want to place your leg outside. So you're pushing your knee to the outside and as far past your toes as possible. When you are performing this, you want to make sure that the medial arch of the foot remains nice and flat. So you don't want to go into excessive supination of the foot. You want to go as far out and forward so that your heel, or so that the medial arch of the foot still remains in a somewhat neutral position. And you don't want it to go so far that your heel comes up off the ground. So just go as far as possible that you're able to maintain that heel in contact with the ground. But we're going to do 20 repetitions. And if you guys have been following me for a while, you know how this one's going to go. We are going to press down. That is going to activate the core a little bit. And we're going to perform 20 repetitions on each leg. So we're going to inhale and go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, and 20. We're going to switch sides now. So same thing, we got the dowel rod. We're going to turn our toes in. At the base of the fifth metatarsal is where we're going to place the dowel rod. And we want to go outside and forward as far as we can without allowing the medial arch to lift or the heel to lift up off the ground. We'll press down, 20 repetitions. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, and 20. Now that we worked at the ankle, we're going to move a little bit higher up to the knee. At the knee, we are going to be performing a posterior to anterior glide. For this one, I'm going to be using a strength band. If you don't have a strength band, you could use a regular strap, resistance band, or something like a yoga strap. But what you would do is you would want to place it right up near the knee, so to the top of the knee, right behind the popliteus. You're going to come back so that you get a nice stretch onto the knee. And then once you find a nice stretch, we're going to just get down onto our hands and knees. And we're going to be performing 20 repetitions in groups of 5. Every 5, we're going to get a little bit deeper into it. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. If that felt comfortable, we're going to come back a little bit more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If that felt good, come back a little bit more so we could get a little bit more of an anterior glide. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Last one. We're going to come back a little bit more. So now we should have maximum tension at the back of the gastroc. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. All right, now we're going to switch legs. So again, you're going to take the strength band, you're going to place it right at the top of the gastroc or near the popliteus, somewhere in that general area. Then you want to come nice and back so that you feel a nice stretch. Get into that kneeling position, and we're going to do groups of 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And if that felt good, come back a little bit more and see if you notice a difference from right to left. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Come back again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Last one. 2, 3, 4, and 5. There are a few ways that this one can be performed. Another way is you could just lay down on your back, and then you could just grab a hold of your ankle, and you could just pull your foot toward your butt. So you want your heel to touch your butt, and that will do the same job. So if getting down into a deep squat is uncomfortable, that is a modification that you could do. Should have mentioned that earlier, but we're going to move up. We did the knees. We're moving up to the hips. For the hips, we're going to be doing the active straight leg raise. For the active straight leg raise, maintaining the foot positioning straight ahead, the knee locked. We're going to go into flexion. We're going to inhale, flex the hip. When we can't go any farther, exhale, try and get deeper. We're going to do 20 repetitions on each side. And let me just make sure I'm in frame. I am. So inhale and exhale. 1. Inhale. 2. 3. 4. 5. 6. 7. 8. 9. 10. 11. 12. 13. 14. 15. 16. 17. 18. 19. 20. Switch sides. 1. 2. 3. 4. 5. 6. 7. 8. 9. 10. 11. 12. 13. 14. 15. 16. 17. 18. 19. 20. Now that we're done with the hips, we're going to move up to the pelvis. At the pelvis, what we want to do is go into anteversion and retroversion. So anteversion, we're sticking the butt out. Retroversion, we're tucking the pelvis underneath us. In order to lock the pelvis in place and get a little bit more activation and a little bit more isolation of the pelvis, we're going to place the feet wider than our shoulders with the toes pointing in. Now, anteversion, so stick the butt out. Retroversion. 1. Model pose. Flat butt. 3. 4. 5. 6. 7. 8. 9. 10. 11. 12. 13. 14. 15. 16. 17. 18. 19. 20. We're going to do lateral version. Lateral version, so elevation and depression of the ilium. With this one right over here, to elevate, we're going to go up on the toes. And then to depress, we're going to flex the knee. That was 1. 2. 3. 4. 5. 6. 7. 8. 9. 10. 11. 12. 13. 14. 15. 16. 17, 18, 19, 20. Switch sides. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Now we're going to move down to the SI joint, or the sacroiliac joint. For this one, we are going to be doing the Don Tigny SI knee reach. You can do it by yourself without any equipment. I'm going to be using the strength band, same positioning as we did for the posterior to anterior glide. I'm just going to take the strength band and place it just behind my calf. If you are doing this without anything, just do exactly what I'm doing, just without the band. But what we want to do is in a supine position. This is going to be a very, very tiny movement, so don't expect much out of it. But what we want to do is we are going to flex the hip and knee, and we want to drive the knee forward, but you don't want to let your pelvis come up off the ground. It's a very small motion. That's all you want to do. It's a very, very tiny motion. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, and 20. Switch sides. If you want a more detailed explanation of how exactly to perform it, just search on my channel, Don Tigny SI Knee Reach. I have this exercise as a standalone video. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. And now that we are done with the pelvis, we are going to move up to the lumbar spine. For the lumbar spine, we are going to be performing a Mackenzie press up. For the Mackenzie press up, we're in a prone position. You're going to place your palms underneath your armpits like you're getting ready to do a push-up. And for this one, we want to go high enough, but we want to maintain the pelvis with the ground. So if the ASIS, the anterior superior iliac spine, comes up off the ground, it's no longer a lumbar spine mobilization. Now it's an abdominal stretch. So just go as high as you can so that your pelvis remains in contact with the ground. 1. So you're going to inhale. When you can't go any farther, exhale. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. The closer your hands are to your armpits, the more range of motion you're going to be able to get. I think that was 10. 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, and 20. All right. And that was all of the lower body. So we ended up doing the lumbar spine all the way down. Now, that was just a tiny taste of what can be found in my members only section. If you enjoyed it, become a member for only $5 a month to get access to hundreds of member only videos.